Okay, let's talk about something pretty wild. There's this dramatic hidden battle happening inside you, like right now. And it's all about your kidneys going to war with one of the most common things we eat, salt.
This isn't a new idea. Way back over 100 years ago, a physiologist named Ernest Starling pointed out something we all kind of know, right? You eat a super salty meal and you get thirsty. You don't immediately have to run to the bathroom. And that simple observation, well, that's where this whole internal drama really kicks off. So here's the real heart of the issue. It's a total evolutionary mismatch. Our bodies are basically ancient machines designed to hold on to every last grain of salt they could find because our ancestors barely got any. But us, we're just flooding that same system with, get this, over 40 times that amount every single day. That's just a massive overload.
So the big question is, what happens when you pour all this modern-day salt into a system built for scarcity? Well, let's dive in and see how the kidneys handle it, because their first line of defense is actually pretty brilliant.
The amazing thing is, the kidney doesn't just freak out. Nope, it adapts. And it does it with incredible speed and, honestly, a lot of elegance. We're talking changes happening in as little as 18 hours after you've had a high-salt meal. And this process is just so smart. It's like a factory manager who sees a huge overload coming and starts shutting down specific assembly lines to handle it. That's exactly what the kidney does. It pulls these key sodium transporters, things with names like NHE3 and NCC, right off the cell surface. It literally takes that salt-absorbing machinery offline to stop things from getting out of control.
And at the exact same time, the body's major salt-hoarding systems get the message to chill out. I'm talking about the big one, the renin-angiotensin-aldosterone system. You might have heard of it as RAS. It's basically told to stand down, which is another way the body helps flush all that extra sodium out.
Okay, but what if that salt onslaught isn't just a one-time thing? What happens when it's day after day, just relentless? Well, that's when the kidney has to switch gears. It's forced to escalate to a much more, let's call it a desperate brute force strategy. So, you know those clever, elegant solutions we just talked about? When they get overwhelmed, the body has to pull out plan B. And it's a pretty high-risk move called pressure natriusis. It's exactly what it sounds like. The body intentionally lets blood pressure rise, literally using physical force to shove that extra salt and water out.
This high-pressure situation directly causes something called glomerular hyperfiltration. And really, what that means is the kidney's super delicate filtering units are just forced into overdrive. It's like running your car's engine in the red constantly. Yeah, it gets the job done, but it is deeply, deeply damaging over time.
And all this constant state of emergency, it really takes a physical toll. We're talking about permanent scars being left on the kidney itself. You know, that constant strain from running in the red, from hyperfiltration, it's not just some abstract concept. It causes real, direct, physical injury to those little filters, the glomeruli. And that injury, of course, triggers inflammation. And here's the proof. Look at this. Studies show this huge jump in something called interstitial collagen in kidneys that are dealing with a high-salt diet. And just so we're clear, interstitial collagen, that's scar tissue. This scarring has a name. It's called fibrosis. And the scary part is, it's permanent. But the fallout from this internal battle doesn't just stay inside the kidney. Oh no. The problem goes systemic. It starts affecting your whole body, and sometimes in ways you really wouldn't expect. Okay, for starters, as the kidney is struggling to kick out all that sodium, it also ends up flushing out more calcium. And that, as you might guess, ramps up the risk for painful calcium-based kidney stones. But believe it or not, there's an even more surprising consequence of this whole mess. Which brings us to a really fascinating question. See, our bodies are amazing at keeping the salt levels in our blood super, super stable. So if the kidneys just can't get rid of it all, where does all that extra salt we're eating actually go? And the answer to this is wild. It's completely turned decades of medical thinking on its head. It turns out your body gets creative. It starts stashing the salt in hidden reservoirs, in your skin and in your muscles. It literally turns them into backup storage tanks. So all of this leaves us with a pretty huge, crucial question, right? Our bodies are these masterpieces of evolution, but they were designed for a world that just doesn't exist anymore. The real question is, how do we adapt? I think understanding this silent battle, this war happening inside our own kidneys, well, that's got to be the very first step in helping them win.